Dark Space by Jasper T Scott. I liked it. It was good. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Joe. I'm going to review sci-fi and audiobooks. The type of sci-fi I'm going to be reviewing: space operas, military sci-fi, horror, anything in between and across them sort of sci-fi stuff. That's what interests me. I will also be doing reviews on books to do with games like the Gears of Wars, Halo, and possibly StarCraft, because they're novels I've read and I really enjoyed them, and there's not really many of them on YouTube, so I thought I'd do them as well. I like big battles, space battles, and I like fighting on planets and space and big ships destroying each other, kind of Battlestar Galactica style, like bullets and projectiles and stuff like that. So I'm going to try and find books like that, but if they've got lasers and everything else, so be it. Still going to be a good read. If you're interested in that and it sounds interesting, subscribe and hopefully it'll be interesting and we'll discover more books together. So, Dark Space by Jasper T Scott, and narrated by William de Ferris. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I listened to this on audio, the first one, all of them, or listened to all of them on audio, and that's good. No, I liked it, so we'll sort of start the review, I suppose. I'll do a non-spoiler first and then a spoiler one after. So let's start. I'll read the summary that's on Audible. Can't really spoil it then, but I sort of add a few things to it. There's a few things you can say, but it's just sort of a non-spoiler, just so you kind of know. Because can't really go into too much detail. Just spoil it, won't you? I'm just going to read my notes, what they've got about this. I'll read the summary that they've got on Audible. Can't really spoil it if I read what they've got on there to do with it. Basically says, humanity is defeated. 10 years ago, the Scythians invaded the galaxy with one goal: to wipe the human race. To wipe out the human race. The humans are hiding, so they're hiding. Now the survivors are hiding in the last human sector of the galaxy, Dark Space. Once a piece of exile for criminals, now the last refuge for mankind. They are isolated. The once galaxy-spanning imperium of stars systems is left guarding the gates, which is the only way in and out of Dark Space, but not everyone is satisfied with their governance. I'll give a bit more about that, really. Basically, it sort of starts 10 years after they lost the war, after the Scythians basically just beat them into oblivion. Yeah, they did. They basically destroyed everyone on the colonised planets and made everyone run to the Dark Space where the criminals are. You start with someone called Ethan and his co-pilot, Alara. I forgot her name then. They're basically avoiding a crime lord called Brondy, and that's kind of really kind of goes to shit really after that. They're just avoiding him, and as stuff happens, people die, people kind of have to do things, and all goes to shit. That's kind of really it. Can't really give much more of a non-spoilery way of putting it, but it was a good book. I enjoyed it. Good listen. Yeah, that was a good book, I suppose. Yeah, so it's a good listen. I enjoyed it. The space flying was okay. The action was okay. It wasn't like crazy or anything, but I liked it. It kind of builds up stuff, and there's a few things happen at the end, and some interesting bits and bobs that happened. So it's good. If it's worth, it's worth listening to or reading. The reviews on it are good. He done this book in I think it's 2013. I think he done this, and it's book 1 of 7. It was nice. It was good. So yeah, that's the non-spoiler one. We'll do a spoiler one now, so we're gonna go balls deep and sort of talk about it and stuff. I've got some notes. So yeah, Ethan's an ex-con, as I said earlier. He got sentenced for smuggling. He had a family before the war, sort of thing. So they basically got left behind because he got sentenced to go to hard labour over in wherever it is, Dark Space. Even though he hasn't seen him for a long time, he's still been trying to find him, and he's doing whatever he does, but flying around, sort of trying to find him in Dark Space. But he hasn't given up. He's kind of lost the will a little bit, I suppose you could say. So Ethan and his co-pilot Alara. Alara's got the hots for him and fancies him. I think she's about 21, 20. something like that, I can't remember. Ethan's about 40. And yeah, so they owe Brondy souls, which is their currency for money. I think it's 10,000 souls. Don't hold me to that. Yeah, so they basically, they're avoiding him. Their ship's a bit beaten up and stuff, so they need to do what they've got to do, try and get some more money or whatever. And they go to one of the space stations, and a guy, I can't remember what the guy's name, shady character, they sort of bump into this guy, and a bit of a confrontation with him, then they sort of go their own ways. Then they meet a young pilot called something Reese. God, terrible names. Pilot Reese, we'll call him. Met the pilot. They had sort of like a bit of a dispute in a bar, but then they were talking about like joining up and stuff. Then Ethan kind of gets in his head to join the military. Best place to sort of run away from Brondy is to join the military. He decides to go and do that. Talks to Lara about it. Lara doesn't really like that idea. When they're on the ship, she basically locks him out the ship, kicks him out the ship, steals the ship to run away, to try and get him to want to chase her. But he kind of thinks, fuck this, I'm just going to go join the military anyway. He goes off to join the military. He then gets captured in this indoor garden by Brondy, that shady man, and a lot of other security people, or Brondy's sort of personnel about. And he kind of has to do another mission to kind of pay off his debt, or Brondy's going to kill him. So he sort of goes with it because he knows he's got to pay the debt or else he's going to die. The plan is he has to get somehow take control of the Valiant, which is the last biggest ship of the ISF. That's the name of the governing military people who control everything. Take control of it, kill the crew somehow, give it over to Brondy. Brondy has captured Alara and's beaten her up, or the shady man beat her up. I can't remember the guy's name. And he gives no choice, and he has to do it, or she'll die and he'll kill him, and that's that. So he reluctantly agrees to it, and the plan is that he has to take the identity of that Reese guy. Aidan Reese is his name, I remembered it now. The guy, the shady man killed him. Take his, like a copy of his voice, have hollow skin, so he basically looks exactly like him. It's like a skin thing that goes over, and then they have a hollow neck thing or something like that, so they can be hollow projected of someone else. Has his chip in their wrist, they can open doors and pay for stuff, and just infiltrate the Valiant and somehow take it over. So that's the plan. Easy enough. He has a drink with him, tastes funny, off they go. He's on the Valiant, a few things, he meets up some people, they have like little, flying around the little ships, Novas, fight some of the pirates, and there's a few odd bits and bobs that go on. And then when he's on the ship, he kind of gets a bit ill, falls a bit sickly and stuff. He has to go into a cryopod, goes to the cryopod, sleeps it off, as you do. I think it's 12 hours or something like that. Wakes up, 12 hours later, he feels cracking. Everyone else is dead on the ship. Brondy, put him with a virus, sabotaged. Try killing him, killing everyone. Cracking plan. Yeah, so it didn't quite work out well for Ethan, because he would have been dead, but like he's not. So then after that, he then has to, well, he's sort of wandering the ship. Then he finds the Overlord, who is the leader of the ISS in the main bridge. Has words with the Overlord. The Overlord sort of lost faith. While this is all going on, Brondy has got the doctor who made the virus, and they're coming up to the Valiant with all of his minions in all their ships and loads of ships and all sorts of stuff. They don't know if the virus has worked yet, so they're kind of having a bit of dispute with the doctor. They've got the doctor's wife hostage, so the doctor does his job. Then turns out that Alara is the doctor and the wife's daughter, so there's sort of a bit of a drama going on there. Brondy obviously betrayed Ethan by giving him the virus. Also, slave chips Alara basically turns into a pleasure girl, I think the word is what they called it. So he had no intention of actually upholding in his deal, because well, he was a bastard, so it's quite cool. He then, with his minions, attack the Valiant. As they're attacking the Valiant, Ethan talks to the Overlord, convinces the Overlord we need to do something. Everyone's dead on the ship. Boo-hoo, they're all upset. He then checks through the computers, all that crap, has a look. They got like a ship, load of red people, dots dead. There actually is some green, finds some green. There's about 80 odd survivors. Then they rally the troops, wake everyone up, abandon ship, go on the Defiant, which is a smaller cruiser, I think they called it, in there. Go on the cruiser, or the Defiant. They do a runner, apart from Ethan and another lady, can't remember her name right now. They somehow get onto Brondy's ship that he come on, or one of the ships that he come on. They steal Brondy's ship, so the Defiance fucks off. Ethan with Gina, that's her name, with Gina, get on Brondy's ship. They fuck off. They take control of Brondy takes control of the Valiant. He starts shooting at them lot. People get blown up. Load of little Nova fights and junkers is what they call the criminal ships. They're all having little fights and blowing each other up and all that fun stuff. So they decide to head for the gate, because this whole time the gate, which is the only way in and out of dark space, everyone thought the gate didn't work. It turns out the gate did work, and there's people the other side, and there's all sorts of secrets and stuff along them lines. They get on, they got to go through the gate, then Ethan follows through after. The Overlord and them lot on the Defiant drop bombs, blow up the gate. Brondy and his lot can't get through. That's the end of that. Then turns out the Doctor, his wife, and Alara are on the ship that Ethan stole. So they find them, they make it through the gate, they get the other side, they all meet up again. Then the Overlord has a word with Ethan, and it turns out that the Overlord is actually Ethan's long lost son. He's a Hollow Skinner as well. He's the second Hollow Skinner. So the first Overlord died of old age. He had his number 2 guy, his advisor I think it was. He became the Hollow Skinner to take over, to keep everything going until they found someone. He then died, give it to Ethan's son, who got saved by him when the war happened and everyone died, and Ethan's son got left behind, all that stuff, which I'll get into in a second. Then he basically offers it to Ethan because he's got more experience and he's an older man, and that's all the justification for it. So then he has a decision, basically, become the Overlord, save people or not. Obviously he takes it because that's where the story's going. Ethan's wife was, I can't remember her name. Balls. Gives her a D. Delara. It's Delara. And Ethan's son, Anton, they was on some planet when the war kicked off. Delara put Anton on a ship with her uncle, I think, who was not an admiral, someone, I can't remember, someone had enough power to get the kid on board with him. They flew off on the ship. Some of the ships got blown up. She thought he died. That was that. And then she got left behind on the planet, and that was that with that. That's it. So yeah, so that's kind of like a vague, spoilery thing. It's quite good. I enjoyed the book. I said it's one of 7. I'm actually already on number 4, so I'm going to do the next few more reviews of the other 2. Hopefully I don't get them all sort of muddled up. I sort of binge them through work. I do carpentry, so I have my radio and my audio book playing. So yeah, so it's good. I liked it. If you liked it, listen to it. It's quite good, you know. So yeah, so if you're interested in this and the sort of stuff I'm going to be reviewing, subscribe, comment, say hello. That's it really. Thank you very much. Ah!